put me in the movies.
Well, as you can see, we have some changes around here. Bike's not gone yet, just for another couple hours. The day has arrived, though. A lot to catch up on, and I'm struggling to. I don't want to make this like a oh, woe is me, and let me tell you the story vlog. Obviously, anyone who's interested in working on motorcycles doesn't really care, but I did get a new job. I'm moving to Texas. I've been in SoCal and for my whole life, and the move to Texas is a big freaking deal. Obviously, I'm one of those guys Joe Rogan talks about, kind of. But yeah, I got the job in Texas, so off we go. And the other night, I'm going to be taking a pretty big pay cut here. The other night, got to thinking about stuff, and my family's making a lot of sacrifices. My kids are losing bedroom space, and we're going to have multiple kids in one room, and it's all this stuff, and I realized, you know, I got to be making sacrifices too. And financially, we're in a bit of a rut, you know. We'll make it through. I've got paths forward. I'm going to pause this real quick. Yeah, so financially, a little bit of a rut, but we'll do okay. But, you know, it's time. I really don't want to sell my bike. But, you know, I came to this thing the other night and I went, well, let me put some feelers out. And so I listed the bike for $5,000. And got a ton of hits. And maybe I listed it too low. But, you know, I mean, 916, I think a lot of people watching know the value of a 916, but also know what's valued in a 916. And what I mean by that is, you know, a 916 could be a fairly pricey bike if it's in the right condition. And a lot of the owners at this point, the people who are passionate about 916s, know what to watch out for in a 916. And with this bike's creative history, I was getting a little antsy that I wasn't going to make money, that I was going to be losing money, if anything. You know, especially with the Chinese fairings and everything. So, you know, I put a listing up and a little bit of traction, but one guy piqued my interest, and you know, I'm not going to be able to say a lot. I don't know. Basically, they're offering me more than the bike than I even asked for, and the bike was actually loaded. So I'll go ahead and show you guys here. We've got these U-Haul pod things, my front yard. By the way, that's a good way to do it. The U-Haul is going to do all the driving for me, so I don't have to pay for gas. And these were actually cheaper than a truck, so it takes a couple weeks for them to get there, but this is a good way to do it. I already had the bike loaded, but guys message, the number that came across my screen had me interested, because, you know, I mean, just some numbers, not off the top of my head. Obviously, you would need to kind of do some research, but, you know, a really fresh, really pretty, with OEM stuff, 916. That's an $8,000-$10,000 bike, right? You get the right collector who really wants one. This one has some Chinese fairing parts on it. I did the maintenance. I don't have maintenance history prior to mine. I'm not going to get a great offer on it, but I got a good offer. So the guy's coming here in about 2 hours, and he actually works for some kind of movie production thing, and I'm not allowed to know what movie that they're working on, but apparently they need a handful of 916s, and because it's movies, they try to get them on salvage title or with creative histories like this, so that the price goes down. And so here's my bike. My bike's kind of primo for that, right? She's in good condition, good working order. She's built to ride. She looks original, And to anyone but the most passionate Ducatisti, they're not going to notice like stuff like the fairings and some little knickknacks and doodads here. And from a distance on film, she'll look very much the part of a Primo 916. Except for the wheels. The wheels are black. Who would have thunk that was going to be an issue that they asked? But so he's coming. You know, I actually had it loaded, and then I realized when I got that offer, I'm not going to get an offer that good. Not going to get a return on investment otherwise. So I'm lucky. And it's a story, right? The whole thing is about experience. And this has been a really fun experience. It's a hobby, and you do hobbies for experience, not to turn money. But I'm going to make I might be money ahead, maybe. See how the deal goes. So what better way? I always really like to know that my bikes are going to somewhere that's good, somewhere that it'll be like, whoa, this is cool. You know what I mean? My last Monster, I sold it to a guy that turned it into a track bike. So I kind of said it was like a Viking send-off, right? Like if he rides it 3 times to the actual, just rides the wheels off the thing and then wrecks it into a fireball, that's the way you send out a Ducati. That's really a better send-off for the 916, but making her into a movie star, that's cool, you know? And I've maybe half mentioned it sometime in the video, but the bike's name is Lola. And we do a thing, we name our cars. Right? All my cars have names. My car is Zuma for the Paw Patrol, because it's orange. I have kids, don't judge. My wife's car is Finn, like the stormtrooper in the new Star Wars movies. I kind of hate those movies, but it's a white armor shell on the outside with black interior. You do the connection. And Lola got her name, my mom suggested it, because I would always compare her, when I was trying to explain the bike, I said, she's kind of this Italian supermodel with a creative past, and I'm kind of her love that'll bring her forward, right? Who are, she finds the city boy, like a Hallmark movie. It was kind of that joke, right? The city, or the country boy rather. I'm not a country boy, but the big city girl who gets into sex, drugs, rock and roll, comes home, and then some country boy from her hometown fixes her problems, and then she lives happily ever after. That was kind of the running joke. But so my mom came up with the idea. Well, there's this actress named Gina Lollobrigida, and she was in it was either Maltese Falcon or Beat the Devil, Humphrey Bogart movie. But Gina Lollobrigida, the namesake, was a movie star. So kind of a cool send-off to say that the bike is going to be a movie star. She will be in the movies. I like it. I like that idea. I really don't want to sell my bike, but it's going to happen. A lot going on. This is a house I grew up in, and it's getting sold. I'm in my 30s, and I ain't gonna cry for the camera, but I've definitely shed some tears at that thought. Leaving my hometown forever now. I'm the last of my family here. I was a family of 4 kids, mom and dad. It's hard, so yeah. I don't want to unload on everyone, but that's what's going on with me. For channel future, I don't know right now. Ideally, I buy another motorcycle. In fact, I'm gonna maybe make another video saying, hey, what do you guys think? But I'm not quite clear, but I think most of my audience is interested in the 916. And I don't know if that's what the next project's going to be, but I can tell you more likely than not. It's probably not going to be another 916. Might be another 916 someday. But I can tell you my first love was the 1098. And I'd love to do the same thing with the 1098. So maybe I'll maintain a lot of my audience. Because I'm certainly overlap between fans of Ducati superbikes and fans of the 916, right? I don't know. I hope there's a motorcycle in my very, very not too distant future. The next bike, though, is probably going to be something a lot more practical. Maybe another SV650 or something along those lines, just so that I am on two wheels and not on two wheels. I can tell you, ideally, what I want to do. The dream would be to get a super sport. Well, the dream is a mansion with 20 motorcycles in the garage. That's not happening tomorrow, but I'll keep working on it. But for the channel, if I had the resources, I'd like to do if I could select any bike right now, I wanted the Super Sport, the 939, the new Super Sport. And the reason is because I rented one. They're not too hunched over. But they're not totally upright like an adventure bike position. They're not a multi-strada. They're still fairly aggressive, powerful as all heck. But they're modern. They're nice. They're clean. You know, and I like the looks of them. I know not everyone likes them, but you know, they're essentially a monster with fairings, which is a funny thing because the monster actually started as a super sport without fairings, and I do like fairings. So that's the top of my list. That, you know, and then if I could get one of those that was dinged up, that needed a little love, because I sure like to give the love to the bike. You know what I mean? That's a huge part of it for me. Anyway, that would be ideal. Maybe an old 1098 that needs help. I've seen a couple online. Or maybe them right. 916, 748, 996, one of those comes along. I don't know. I'm going to be limited on resources for a while. Money-wise. Money's always, you know, that's always the devil's in the details there. So I don't know when I'm going to start back up again. But for sure, the channel's definitely not dead. I really enjoyed this. This was a heck of a project. It was fun. So I hope everyone sticks around, and I don't know when it's going to be. Could be a couple months. There's some my finances are like really mushy right now. You know, I could go buy a motorcycle, but I have to go spend on other things. So I don't know. I don't know what the next couple months is going to look like. I'm hoping that there's a motorcycle in the near future. Maybe I get a cheap SV that I bang up for a while, and then go back to the Ducati world. I don't know. Probably make a video talking about it, and I'd sure like everyone's feedback, of course. But yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna sign off. I'll take some pictures and have them interspersed through the video. Ta-ta for now, I guess, but definitely not for good. I just don't know. If you can't tell, I'm pretty shell-shocked. So, but definitely this bike, gonna have a good adventure.
Well, I hope you come to see me in the movie, but then I know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that's ever hit the big time, and all I gotta do is act naturally.